We're going live in 3, 2, 1. Now, good evening, everyone. How you doing? This is Paulo Prezzotto here every night with Tamo Junto SF because we're together on this one. Tonight, I have special guests from all over the place that reside in the Bay Area and play, believe it or not, Italian funk. That's right, you heard it, funk italiano. The first track we're gonna hear tonight is called A me piace o blues. We're talking about Sonamó. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're enjoying your quarantine. If you're not, I will be praying for you. We're live on Facebook, and I will also place the link for our Zoom thing. Let's have fun. Oh, yeah. Good evening, everybody. Hi, Jennifer, Celso, Jason Brazil, Jake, Ariel del Mundo is here with us tonight. Raul Castro, everybody. All right, everyone? We're here another night together with Tamo Junto SF. If you have Oh, here we go. It's my own computer fitting back here. Tonight we have the pleasure and one more time celebrating the diversity that the Bay Area offers in all fronts, but mainly the music scene, which is the front that I apply myself the most. And it's a pleasure. I met this gentleman a few years back, and he's been navigating the Brazilian, Italian, American scene, and the Bay Area has provided space for his music. I would like to introduce you to my man, Giuseppe Pinto in the house. How you doing?
Hey, Paolo, how you going, man? All right, all right, all right. Thank you.
Ciao, bello. Ciao, bello.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
buonasera, buonasera. I will spend all my Italian here tonight because there's just so little. But the
But you have
reality,
Italian heritage, right? So you have Italian blood.
I do. Yeah, I am the presotto, and I became presotto as the thing, merged, and we're here due to the circumstances. We're all together here. I would like to remind everyone that this show is only possible because the partnership with Brazil Best Magazine. Brazil Best is your channel for Brazilian community in the Bay Area. So visit brazilbest.com and stay tuned on what's good with our community. I am noticing here that we have some of our friends out there that I would like to acknowledge. Jennifer Del Cecolo is here with us tonight. Ravena Bravo, Celso Braz, and Jake. Ariel Del Mundo from LA, promoter and also producer. Giuseppe, let's start with your move to the Bay Area. How long has it been you've been living here?
Man, it's been 10 years, 10 years in April. Actually, yeah, April 1st was 10 years. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to celebrate because given the circumstances, of course, right? But yeah,
Yeah,
it's been an amazing trip. You know, the first thing that you notice when you get here as a outsider, and you are strong mentally enough to make your space in it, is that you realize how powerful, how beautiful is, especially in San Francisco Bay Area, with all the possibilities that are around here. You know, you have no limits in your mind, no limits around you. You can achieve whatever you want if you just put, the mind into it, and you're constantly beating. You can achieve
absolutely.
whatever you want.
Yeah, I shared that particular mindset because I grew up in a small town in the state of São Paulo, Brazil, and I had a real challenge trying to convince not only myself but everyone around me that was possible for me to do what I wanted to do. And when I left my hometown, everyone was like, "Oh, you're crazy! You're crazy! You're gonna end up like the starving musician." And then when I moved to the Bay, I noticed that it's still hard. It's hard to be a musician anywhere, and it's hard to work in
Right.
entertainment and arts anywhere. But here, folks are really stoked that you're following your dream. So that's such a refreshing sensation. But besides the music, you also came here for work.
Yeah. That was
What?
the main reason why I moved here. And then actually music saved me because, as I was telling you before, you need to be strong enough to survive in mental in this place. Because if you come here alone and you have no friends and nothing else, it can be really harsh. In fact, it was 2013 when I actually made my move and I changed everything because I used to live in South Bay before. And then in 2013, I was at the point when I said, you know what, I either go back to Italy, but I don't want to stay here anymore because this sucks. The lifestyle sucks. I was completely alone, nobody, no friends. I moved to San Francisco. I forced myself to go out, meet musicians, join jam sessions, and my life has changed like this. It
That's
was
so cool, man. And
pretty much
so
all my. I mean, I met you through music. I met all my friends through music.
yeah, it's been a journey. I and when you decided, okay, I can't do the South Bay thing anymore. I need to move into the city and start relating. What was your the first spots, the bars or live music venues that you decided to go to see what was
Eh,
going on?
Okay, believe it or not, I went there and I applied for. I was doing an audition for a band. I remember to join this band, and I also passed that audition. It was a funk band. It's called Big Blue Soul Review. A great band that
Oh yeah, I know them. They're amazing.
yeah. And then I met a few really cool cats like Herman Lara on saxophonist, very good. And then I remember I went to a friend of mine. This is how I got introduced to the Brazilian music because, as you know, I'm heavily involved into that.
Yep.
I went to the cigar bar, and there was a Brazil Vox performing.
Cigar Bar, Brazil Vox classics.
I went to talk to Romeo, and I actually had to talk to him a couple of times because he was keep forgetting about the fact that, hey man, let's if you guys don't have a keyboard player, let's just get into that. And I remember the first gig I did with them was at the Revolution Cafe on August 10, 2013. The very same night, I also met Antonino Musco that he was doing DJ set.
He was the DJ there. Yeah, big shout out to Antonino Musco and his show at Radio Valencia. It's been doing a great job, just connecting and keeping music alive. Okay, so I see the route. I see how you ingrained. And but before you even started auditioning and looking for spots here in the Bay, I can see that your background was funk and jazz and Brazilian music, and that happened in Italy. What's your musical background from back home?
Yeah, I studied classical music and then I got heavy into jazz music. And that's, I would say jazz is my main genre, let's say, that I studied the most. But then, coming here, you have all these, I know Brazilian music still through jazz, through bossa nova, and but then when I got here, then I got exposed to so many different aspects of Brazilian music, and I was involved in so many different styles. Like to me, axé, samba was the same thing, But then you get
Right.
many differences, right?
You got to be careful with that stuff, man. You go out there saying Shan, samba is the same thing. Folks
Yeah,
are gonna be really mad at you.
I know pagode. To me, it was all the same, but it's not, of course, right?
Oh, that's cool, man. That you're now you dived into it and it started. And the Bay Area is like really an awesome niche for funk. And so funk and James Brown and the pocket that has also been present from when did you encounter that? Was that back
Was
when you were?
my father made me listen to so much of that stuff. You have no idea.
That's
Especially
cool,
jazz
man.
music. Well, I was at the point that I was like, I don't understand this music anymore because I was a little kid and my father used to make me listen to Charlie Parker like constantly. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. That's cool, man. You gotta well, thanks
Yeah.
to Papa Pinto, and when at what point in time? Because I know you were auditioning for as a keyboard player,
Mhm.
and then you started adding backing vocals. When the idea for Sonamo came about? When was that? Like, did you feel like you know what? I want to do this thing in Italiano.
But yeah, I mean, it is in Italiano because I am Italian, and so we do lots of Italian songs. But in reality, the needs came from the necessity of really expressing my feelings and how I felt here, and all these, as I was mentioning before, all these possibilities that are in this part of the world, right? So I had a few songs already with me. And I met also Antonino, another Italian guy that we will start talking about putting, because he actually always plays with us. He always does a DJ set when we go performing. And then when I finally start meeting I mean, not just the right musicians as a musicianship, but also in terms of people, you know what I'm saying? Human beings.
Yeah, music's about the chemistry between friends, man. It's really, you
Yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah. once you start getting that, then you start merging all these things together, and there is that synergy, and that's how. In fact, I would say, yeah, I could argue we do Italian funk, but if you speak to some Italian person in Italy, they would call my music a world music. They wouldn't say this is Italian.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
same.
saying?
Same thing in Brazil, because now Brazilian funk is like baile funk. So if you say funk in Brazil, for people that the average Brazilian, you're gonna hear that.
I know the baile funk.
And then it's not really the same thing. And this track we just heard, "A me piace o blues," and was that recorded here in San Francisco?
We recorded at Dream Rack Studios at Hyde Street. Yes.
Oh, Hyde Street, such a nice room.
Trent Berry is our recording engineer. Actually.
Cool.
Not only our guitar player, it's also our magic recording engineer, and he's managing his Dream Rack at the Hyde Street.
Right on, man. Let's and how many songs do you guys record on that session?
And that one was an EP. It was only 4 songs actually.
4 songs, okay. And but then you guys started promoting the Euro nights, and things are evolving. And Sonamo, it's now how long have you guys been together?
Yeah, our first concert was in 2016.
16, so not even 5 years. So you're gonna see a lot of Sonamo around here. I'm gonna go ahead and play another tune right now called "Another Story," and then after "Another Story," I want to bring the gentleman that wrote this song, because in Sonamo, it's not only you that writes music, right? You got to feel partners and collaborations.
Yeah. I mean, a few notes before you play this song. So this song worked like that. So it's a kind of a Brazilian-inspired song, because it was called initially Partido Alto-ish.
Oh, é Partido Alto-ish? Boa.
That's how we started. And Bob came and said, "Hey guys, I have this groove. I don't know what to do." And dude, we played this groove for like 2 nights, always the same groove, and was try to come up with something different. And we came up with these lyrics, which are. I mean, you just have to listen to it. They're like super luxurious, lushful lyrics. I don't know, but check it out. And it's very Brazilian inspired. I also play the pandeiro in this recording.
Oh, nice. You played the pandeiro on this one. Cool. Can't wait. Another Story, Sonamo. Will be right back with also Bob Menacho now that participated on the composition of this one. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, everybody. This is Tamo Junto. Tonight we have Sonamo. It's Bay Area funk for you. Oh yeah, baby. Check out who just joined us with his virtual background. All right, everybody, we're back here with another Tamo Junto. If you just tuned in, tonight we're listening to Bay Area-based Italian funk ensemble Sonamo. And I was talking here with Giuseppe Pinto, Italiano Nato, about his origins and how he got to the Bay Area. We heard the first song, and now we just heard another story, which was also co-written by our bassman that I would like to introduce you, Bob Menacho. Fala, Bob. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for
Good.
having me.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's super fun to actually be here sharing music and having conversations with our buddies, because this time and age has allowed us to actually pause and do some fun stuff besides all the downsides of the pandemic. So this song started, as Giuseppe mentioned, the Partido Alto-ish. What did you even grasp when he said this is Partido Alto-ish? What was that even
He
about?
called it Partido Alto.
Oh yeah, that was started out as like an old kind of beat I had, made on my computer, and I was kind of familiar with that rhythm, but not, I don't know it exactly. So I knew it was kind of like it. So I don't even know if I was starting on the correct beat on the one. So that's why I couldn't just say like, oh, it's a Partido Alto.
How
had to
come
get
you're
on-
familiar with Partido Alto? When did you start listening to the variations of Brazilian music?
I had a buddy that that showed me a lot of these things, just kind of real fundamental things, like when we were kids. So I kind of knew a little bit of Pondero and some basic like conga patterns. And
Oh,
stuff.
very cool. Where'd you grow up?
Yeah. Oh, here in the Bay Area. So in Cupertino, actually.
Oh, in Cupertino. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the diversity of the Bay Area. It's something incredible, man. You have a neighbor that will bring some like Balkan music to you, or whatever, some hip hop from France and things of that nature. Bob, when did you meet Giuseppe?
Yeah, we met. Must have been 2015, I think, or 2016. But it was because of another gig. We had a Brazilian gig actually, where we were playing like a lot of covers and like party music. It was good stuff, and it was cool. But it was funny. Like I just remember we were just kind of both called to the gig, and then and so Giuseppe was kind of singing. He was playing and singing backup like on everything, and we had. Man, what we played a bunch of stuff, but I remember we played some Brazilian cover where Ben Harper was singing on it.
Oh yeah, the song with the
Giuseppe,
girl.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
really cool. It was cool, but then Giuseppe was singing the Ben Harper's part, and he sounded exactly like Ben Harper. It was crazy.
Nice. That's a
Yeah,
good.
I was
And
like,
you know
dude.
what's funny too? When he sings Djavan, he also sounds just like Djavan.
Yeah, he's got that ability to kind of like morph into a whoever he's trying to do.
That's cool, man. You see, that's
Yeah.
the contribution. They're born and raised in the Bay Area, man. When did you start playing the bass? Was that a high school thing from the
Yeah.
get-go?
Yeah. I started on guitar in kind of in middle school, and then eventually, got my hands on a bass, and then went from there and just stuck with bass. But yeah, I was early into Red Hot Chili Peppers and all that kind of stuff. So I started learning all the guitar lines on Blood Sugar Sex Magic album, and then like as my ears started to develop, then I was like, wait, I can hear the, the intricacies of the bass, and then gravitated towards that, and then got into all the Flea's influences, and then listened to those, and it turns into a crazy rabbit hole, So
That's the seed of the funk there.
Yeah.
Giuseppe, how do you think Bob and the guys feel when you're singing all the Italian lyrics? Do you wish like they understood what you were saying? Is that a thing in the rehearsal? Like, oh, can you come back that part that you said tutto bene, or
I think that. So first of all, I've asked Bob if I think, Bob, you speak Spanish because it's close enough, And the first thing he said, look, I look like I speak Spanish, but I don't.
Wow, yeah, you gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, especially when I go by Bob too. A lot of people get confused when they see me.
Come on, but you have a Peruvian heritage, right?
Yeah. I speak some Spanish, and then I can understand a little bit of Italian and Portuguese as well. But man, like the song names, I still can't pronounce a lot of the song names.
The song names.
I've
been studying just because we're gonna do this tonight. So I'm like reading them really nicely. A me piace o blues and stuff like that. Is that sounding right, Giuseppe?
It sounds perfect.
That's really good.
Paolo, you always be an inspiration for me. So tonight, I don't want to use these glasses because they're not pink enough, so I want to use these ones.
Oh, nice. You see, man. Tamo junto. Tamo junto is about that. It's about inspiring each other and keeping ourselves with the gradient. And I would like to go ahead and introduce some more members of the band that we have here with us tonight. And I would like to call us, and let's put them on the screen here. I would like to introduce Mr. Nick, that plays the horn, and Trent, that is the man behind all those guitar solos. Let's see. Hey, Trent, where are you? Hey, Nick, say hi to our fellas online. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely, man. It's been fun. Trent, how are you, man?
What's up, beautiful people? Thank you, Paolo. Thank you, beautiful Facebook world, for having us.
Absolutely. I see Ron is here with us, also saying hi, and some other folks. Trent, let me get your story right here, because when I see you on stage, it's to me a mixture. You do have the funky chops and the pocket, but I can see in your face that at some point you were doing solos over glam rock stuff in the 80s.
What would give you that idea? What would possibly give you that idea?
It's pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful stuff. But tell us what were your influences?
Well, you're a very good detective, Paolo, because you nailed it. I grew up in the Midwest in Ohio, growing up on a diet of Midwestern funk. So people like Prince, like the Ohio Players, like Roger Troutman, like Bootsy Collins, and a lot of bands that never made it out of the Midwest, but of course were all built in that same stew, in that same cauldron. So I grew up on a diet of that. But then, of course, like most American kids of that era, certainly all the glory and all of the excitement was in playing loud, aggressive guitar music. That's where it happened. So certainly there's absolutely an element of that in what I do too. So yeah, so there's both of those things. And then, I've lived in the Bay Area for the past 2 decades. I used to live in Europe. So a lot of like European folk music. I lived in France, like Francis Cabrel, Jacques Brel, a lot of pop type stuff, a lot of just Europhile influences as well on top of that. So, a hybrid, classic American hybrid, somebody who got bored with the Midwest, decided to go see the world, and wound up here in San Francisco, but brought the aggressive guitar playing with him to San Francisco.
I really love the style, man. It's super cool because it adds a lot to the ensemble. And so you've been around for 2 decades. How did you and Giuseppe met, and how did you become part of Sonamó?
Sure. So Giuseppe mentioned a gentleman earlier, Herman, a guy that he had met through the Big Blues Band. Herman and I worked together, and Herman and I had played together on a couple different projects. And we were looking to flesh out a band that we had around a singer. And Herman suggested Giuseppe for that. That band didn't last. It was just a one-time project, but we all got to meet each other after that. And so Giuseppe and I remained in contact. And then he brought up this crazy idea to me, this crazy idea of playing Italian music, old Italian music, new Italian music, and original Italian music in the Bay Area. And I said, this is the one place in the United States where they will absolutely not only accept this music, but they will embrace this music, and this music can become popular because people are open-minded here. And of course, a few years later, it has absolutely worked out that way. We've gone from playing very small rooms and 25, 35 of our friends to playing places, 300, 400, 450 capacity.
Dude, the Euro nights are
we've had residencies in some of the major venues here. So it's worked out quite well. Obviously, we like the fact that it's popular, but more importantly, we like the fact that we're doing something creative, something that's unique, and something that's genuinely enjoyable to a lot of people out there. They find this music, they come fascinated by it, and they leave not just intrigued, but they leave converting.
Awesome. Bay Area values. Let me throw Nick into the mix here. Nick, what's your story? You're representing the section of the band that really honors the funk and the play that horn. It's like we always hear JB going like, Maceo, do that thing. And how did you get involved in horn playing, and what's your background? How did you get to Giuseppe and Sonamo?
So horn playing is kind of an interesting thing. I grew up, my pop was a great collector of music, and it was mostly jazz and doo-wop, a little bit of early Latin music like Celia Cruz, Machito, stuff like that. But he had thousands and thousands of records. I couldn't get through it. It was way too much for me to deal with. It was really daunting. But when I was about 13, CDs started becoming really big, and he only had maybe 5 CDs. So there was this CD that was Ben Webster playing with Art Tatum. I started listening to that, and I started listening to Best of Chet Baker Sings. And that's what got me into jazz, really. Like, I grew up around it, but that's the first time I started listening to it on my own. And I realized I wanted to sound like Ben Webster, who's pretty much a ballad player. I've gone pretty far from that at this point in time, but that was that's what initiated me into saxophone and got the fire lit under me. And I really owe that to my pop, and I owe it to my mom also for making me take music lessons when I was young.
Nice.
I met Giuseppe through Antonino Musco's jam, MSK, where he plays at Revolution the 4th Friday of every month. And Giuseppe was playing this just burning keyboard solos and I think guitar solos, and my face is melting, and I'm like, there's too many notes. I can't follow this. And so it comes my turn to solo. I'm like, I'm going to play one note. I'm just going to bring it way down because I can't compete with that. And so I was like, let me drop it down and play something sensual at this point in time. But, that's how we got connected. And I've been really fortunate to get a chance to play with all these guys because they all really drive me as a musician.
Very cool, man. It's complementary. You got the virtuosity, but you gotta have the pocket, man. It's one thing. And how many horns, or most shows is that only you? Because I saw some videos where you guys also had a trombone. And are you like the horn section guy, writing and telling folks what the parts are? What's your role now?
I mean, at this point in time, I'm the horn for it, but originally it was a much larger section, and it just ended up being easier to get everything coordinated. And at this point in time, you got a band full of people that all have everything memorized, and so nobody's reading anything. We're all just listening to each other the whole time and interacting. And I think more than anything else, it was being able to strip it down to a small group of people that were all committed and that we're all on board and we're all willing to learn music by memory that changed everything.
That's cool. Is that the hard work of the maestro Giuseppe there? How long can you how often before the whole Corona were you guys getting together to just like rehearse and put things together? Is that because I know that's a big challenge for every band in the Bay Area because everyone's got, you know, a ton of stuff to do. And another blessing of this time has been to, okay, so there's time now to think, there's time now to exchange and to, how is that coming along, Giuseppe?
That one, we get together usually, if we don't play for too long, we get together one rehearsal before the show. Or in general, we get together when we have new things to play. You know, we have new songs or new covers. We say, hey, let's try this out. Let's get this. Let's make up new stuff. Whenever we have new ideas, and but in generally, I would say probably once, twice a month. I mean, yeah, that's probably
that's good. I like the sound of that.
Trent is managing this studio at in the High Street. Antonino and I also have another room there, so we kind of see each other very often, and because we always in this music environment. High Street Studios, man, it's a beautiful place. We go there, you know, you walk in through this historic place, and there are people same like-minded like you, and they just, you know, you meet other musicians. You know, there is that vibe that you know, it makes you inspired to create new things, to create new sounds. Antonino released recently. MSK released a few songs that we were completely stoned, and I was just jamming on something.
Yeah,
I thought it was
shit happens. Yeah, for sure.
He just put everything together. He made this super cool song that he released recently. So you know what I'm saying? It's very nice. It's really
that's cool. And this song that I want to play next here, it's called "I Walk Through." Was that also recorded part of the EP, the 4 tracks that you guys released from High Street?
No. This one has been released last month. This is the latest release that we have, and yeah, this song is actually very special because it talks about the special moment in life when you are at the point that you have had enough of something, and you're about to you need to change, and you don't look at the past in a bad way. You just look, you know what? That's it. It's done. It's a moment in time when pain and joy coexisted together. Now it's time to move on, and I'm gonna look at the future with the positive, hopeful, you know, eyes. And lyrics have been written by Priscilla Sardenik. We wrote the music. I didn't write the lyrics of this one.
Oh, so nice. That's like family bonding right there, making music together. All right, guys, let's listen to "I Walk Through," and I'll be right back with more of Sonamo. You are here with Tamo Junto. Sonamo. We'll be right back.
Surrounded by mountains, I'm standing in the dark. How many nights have I been here? I have thought of you, of others, of myself, and all of that I feel. It has been long with salty tears. Here I found out how to come and conquer, and how to escape was near. Losing count of times I fell in love, and I was heartbroken several times over. I saw the future, searched for the past. Count the time that I walk darker blue eyes and slowly walking over glass, praying and trusting, longing for full of thoughts and dreams I'm never left behind. Now is the time to open my mind. Here I found out how to come and conquer, and how to escape was near. Losing count of times I fell in love, and I was heartbroken. Several times over I saw the future, search for the past. And for love, for life, discoveries and flights, I look around and say goodbye. I live my dreams intact, my hopes and my strong might. Closing this counter time, my darling, I walk through. And now for love, for life, discoveries and flights, I look around and say goodbye. Yeah. I live my dreams intact, my hopes and my strong might. Closing this counter time, my darling, I walk through.
All right, this was the new release of Sonamo here at Tamo Junto. I Walk Through, music by Sonamo, lyrics by Priscilla Statnik. And I also have to remind everyone that we're here every night till the quarantine is called off. So this is a community media. We focus in the independent artists of the San Francisco Bay Area, and we also have a YouTube channel. It's Paulo Prezotto, and you do the hashtag Tamo Junto SF, just like so, and then you'll be able to watch all the episodes. We had some really good people here from the Bay. We had Kata from Locura. We had Mr. Javi Jimenez from Barrio Manush. We had Mr. Vargas from Macru Music. I am talking to Juan Manuel Caipo. He's going to come here next. And we had Will Magid. Now we have Sonamo. And I'm really stoked that I'm able to just listen to a bunch of music and talk to my friends. Giuseppe, the next thing I want to do here is to talk about the live performances and the road you guys have paved for everyone to get together, listen to your music. I remember you guys have played at some point Cafe Revolution, the low cramped space, but the epic ones for me have been the Euro nights over at Bar Fluxus. It's been so much fun, man. Giuseppe, how did that all start, and where do you see that going?
Euro night comes from the idea of getting together technically European bands, and that was actually really hard because, believe it or not, I have found only one or two Spanish bands, and miracle, we only found one French band in the whole Bay Area. Do not talk about Italian band. There is some friends that play very traditional Italian music, but that's actually very niche, so it's kind of hard to bring it on stage. And that was the idea. So to bring this European energy, not just in terms of live music, but also with European DJs. In fact, we brought Marco van Brabant is a Dutch.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
Dutch. I know that guy.
We brought Antonino. We have another Nicolas that we has my last name, by the way, also, and two French DJs. So we created this collective, let's say, of European music. But in the end of the day, everybody's welcome. So it's not just for.
Yeah,
And,
that's the magic of the Bay Area there. Trent, you in the studio activity, and also just like playing gigs live, and that question extends to everyone. How did the grand pause affect your business particularly, and the bands that come record or the gigs that you play live? Is there a perspective? Is there a good side of it, or how are you managing the damage?
Sure. So a couple questions there. I guess the first question would be, how has it impacted business directly? And the second question would be, is there an upside to this? So in terms of impacting, most of the studio is pretty dead right now. There's not a lot of people recording there. Some people do come in under essential business, and we have gloves and masks and everything for them. But for the most part, what we have done is move into editing existing material and post-production. So a lot of the mixes that have been sitting out there, we go, oh, we'll get around to mixing this. We're now getting around to mixing that. So that's what we've been doing, is catching up on things we should have taken care of a long time ago. Now, in terms of, is there an upside to this? There is always an upside in periods of history where art has been suppressed, and then all of a sudden it explodes. It's like the period in ancient history before flowers, right? There was an extinction event, and then when the plants came back, suddenly for the first time on Earth, it wasn't just green, but it was every color. It was flowers, the birth of flowers. That is what's going to happen here. Just like the Middle Ages, then there was a Renaissance in Venice. You're going to see a renaissance because all these artists have this pent up kinetic or potential energy like a slingshot. And once the release comes, it's going to go like that. So we're going to see an explosion of art once we get liberated. And in the meantime, you're going to see more technologies like Zoom and like Twitch that are going to probably create some sustained business models that will prolong into the future as well. So I think on both of those levels, these new technologies emerging and taking center stage, and then this explosion of art, explosion of activity,
Yeah.
all allowed to run out in the streets once again. That's what I think.
Absolutely, man. I think you're right on the money there. Bob, how's your quarantine going, man? You're enjoying time reading, writing, laying down a bunch of bass tracks. What's
Yeah.
been the schedule like?
I've been trying to work on some stuff. Giuseppe's and I are doing a little like side jazz online collaboration that should be pretty cool. And then I'm actually trying to learn some keyboard licks and stuff too.
Oh
I
yeah.
picked up like a DX7 and then a Juno 6 like right before everything shut down. So I've been locked in the house with those two things, and it's
Oh,
been
those
pretty
are
cool.
cool toys to play with during this quarantine for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's cool. And then, working on little transcriptions and transposing all 12 keys and all that too.
Yeah,
So,
somebody has to do that for
yeah,
sure, for sure. Yeah, and a good thing you brought it, so you show it to the guys. Like, oh, you see, I am
I did
really,
it. It's
I'm
documented.
doing this. Nick, where is your quarantine, man? Are you on this side of the bay, that side of the bay? Which side of the bay are you?
Oh, I'm in San Francisco, and everything is shut down for me. I'm a chiropractor as well as a musician, and technically I could be open because I'm an essential employee, but I don't feel like I could safely manage an office and guarantee that I'm not just going to get all my patients sick or come home and get my family sick.
As a
So for me,
chiropractor, I
yeah,
would.
it felt like I want to take this time, and I want to take the time for reflection and to realize, am I doing what I want to do in my life? Am I doing it the way that I want to? And what really is most important? Because in all honesty, it's not money. It's not all the things we buy. So what really is meaningful in life? And how can I have more of that in my day-to-day existence when this clears up?
Yeah, this has indeed been a great opportunity to just reflect on that, man. Like the huge pressure to be successful financially, professionally, and we end up forgetting really important things in life. I want to just refresh our memories from that time where we used to put instruments on stage, and then there were like sound guys plugging stuff, and then we had sound checks, and the people were allowed to come out of the house. And I want to show a live video from Sonamo. Giuseppe, tell us about this particular show. What are we gonna see here?
This is a take from our latest Euro night. This was at Mina Gallery, and we are really proud of performing this our Afro funk version of this Italian tune, which became the anthem of freedom all over the world. Right? It's called Bella Ciao, and it's a song against fascism. It's a song against totalitarianism, and I really, on this, especially on this version, you're not only gonna enjoy the music, but you will also enjoy the crazy dance moves of Nick Krause on the saxophone. He's amazing solo too. He has an amazing, dude. Don't please play the song until he gets to the solo, because you gotta check it out, man. It's
That's
so
nice. Yeah, I want to send this one to our friends, the Bolsonaro family, all the way down in Brazil. I hope you understand some Italian. Without further ado, Bella Ciao here, everybody.
Allora, questa canzone la dedichiamo a Salvini.
Sonamo, Italian funk in the Bay Area. We're here together at Tamo Junto.
Bella ciao ciao, bella ciao ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao ciao, bella ciao ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao ciao, bella ciao ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao ciao, bella ciao ciao. Stamattina mi sono svegliato, stamattina mi sono svegliato e l'ho trovato un invasore. Ho trovato un invasore. Oh, partigiano, partigiano, portami via, portami via che mi sento di morire, e se io muoio, da partigiano, se io muoio, da partigiano tu mi devi seppellire, tu mi devi seppellire.
Ciao, Bella. Ciao. Really, Nick?
Shout out also to Chris Tellman, our drummer, that is actually at home enjoying his newborn.
Oh yeah,
Days ago.
very soon I'll be in those shoes too. We got
Yeah,
one
yeah,
coming
yeah.
in June, and we don't even know what we're gonna do, man. We're doing some like fundraising, trying to get some midwives and have our kid here in the living room because the hospital situation is it's something. And guys, I would like to thank you very much for being here tonight with me, taking time off, you know, the nice evenings at your place with your family to share here with us. Super stoked to have Sonamo here, and I can't wait to another time join you out there in the world for this beautiful music. Giuseppe, before we go, we have been asking this question to all our guests, and I would like to throw that ball to you, and then you can pass it over. What has coronavirus taught you this week? What's the lesson here?
Despite being Italian, I really don't know how to cook.
And that's something, man. A big shout out to Italia and all the beautiful examples that the Italian people have given to the world. Besides being one of the biggest hits of Corona, the country that suffered the most, and we're there watching the Italians going out on their windows and singing and, you know, making food and all that. So you're doing better then, huh?
Definitely, man. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Hey, Nick.
Seems that, but speaking like seriously now, it seems that actually in Italy the things are getting better. There are still a lot of people that are in trouble, but fortunately, it seems that things are going better and better every day. So,
Yeah, are you checking in with your folks out there? How's the family?
yeah, let's say that fortunately it's only focused in a very specific region of the country, only in this region called the Lombardy. And the rest of the country is not as bad. Actually, more than half, it's only focused in this region. The rest is
Right.
actually kind of okay.
Yeah,
So,
but are they still in quarantine there?
yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually,
Nick, what's the good word of Corona?
Hopefully I can take this with me as this clears up. But, you know, for me right now, I really feel like most of my day-to-day anxieties weren't about anything substantial or worthwhile. They weren't what really made up life and what was meaningful. So hopefully moving forward, I don't have to take those with me and I can just enjoy each moment.
There you have it, man. Anxiety is a big one in this business, and learning how to control it, how to live with it, it's something. Bob, what are you taking out of this whole pandemic?
Man, well, definitely along the cooking lines, I need to learn. But I'm also surprised like how much you can cook with just the stovetop. Like the oven is broken in my spot, so
Oh no!
that's it. I had to, you know, you got to learn how to make rice on the stove and everything. So not too hard.
Oh, that's a good man. You know that in Peru, if you have some Peruvian background, the rice on the stove is a really big one. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, those fundamentals are coming back.
Yeah,
into play
I'm
right now.
doing barbecues in my electric oven here, man. And
Yeah.
you know, Trent, what's Corona teaching you, man?
It's teaching me that I need to get back in shape. My gym closed, so I bought a bike. I got a nice hybrid mountain bike, and I thought I'd go over to the Marin Headlands and do some exercise. Man, I can't get past Alamo Square. Going up these hills, I'm like, holy shit, I'm out of shape. So I'm taking this as an opportunity to work on my cardiovasculars, work on these quadriceps and these calves, and get back in shape to where I belong.
There you go. And next time I see you guys on stage, I bet the energy will be even more amazing because we're all expecting, you know, when this thing is over and we can, as my friend Easy Wise said, when we can touch each other again, it's gonna be something.
Yep.
Indeed. Thank you guys very much for being with me tonight. This is Tamo Junto. We're here every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Tamo Junto. We're together with Sonamo tonight. I want to play this last tune here, and before I throw the music on, tell me a little bit about You Wanna Be an Italiano, Giuseppe.
We wanted to do our tribute to this old composer from Italy that actually I was really inspired a lot. It's from the 50s. And the song originally is Tuo fa l'americano. It means you want to be an American. So because it talks about this guy from Naples who wants to imitate these American soldiers that were after World War II there in Italy, right? And we flipped the script, and we are actually talking about the Guido, you know, those Guidos that are all dressed up like Italian wannabe.
Right.
Yeah, we split the script. We say you want to be an Italiano, sing the to an American man instead of, it talks about this Italian American there are so many here. They are not really Italian, they're Americans, but they have some Italian grandfather, and they're super proud of being Italian, you know?
Yeah, next thing you know, they're all playing mafioso with you.
Yeah,
and stuff.
that's right. So that song that's what it's talking about. And we changed it. We play our funky version, which is completely different from the original. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. And thank everybody.
And you will. You want to be an Italiano with
we have to do one as soon as this madness is over. We have to organize an amazing Brazilian-Italian party, man.
Let's do this. Let's do the Brasiliano night here because really, guys, the communities are just one big heart here. Thank you guys one more time for being with me tonight. You want to be an Italiano with Sonamo Funk Italiano here in the Bay, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow, huh? Valeu! Grande abraço!
Look at the sky.
The skylines of San Francisco, man! Ciao, guys!
Thank you.
With greasy hair and strolling like a Guido, showing off your face like an Italiano, swinging like a
Ciao, Giuseppe! Grazie, fratello!
di orgoglio di mamma. You want to be an Italiano, where you born in Brooklyn, ed in crostini and tortellini, drive a rented Lamborghini. You feel like a royalty, but you don't have the Naples soul. You merely play the role, and just like Vesuvius, your cover seems to blow. Are you saying that you want to be an Italiano? One day you visit Italy, and you're Tunisian, Neapolitan, Sicilian romance too.
Tamo Junto is brought to you by Brazil Best Magazine.
From La Dolce Vita, and you moved to a città cosmopolita. Listen to the Martinez Amore, dreaming of spaghetti with ragu. You want to be an Italiano, where you born in Brooklyn, eating crostini and tortellini, driving rented Lamborghini. You feel like a royalty, but you don't have the Naples soul. You merely play the role, and just like Vesuvius, your cover seems to blow. Are you saying that you want to be an Italiano? One day you visit Italy, and you Tunisian, Neapolitan, Sicilian romance to like your grandpa used to do, like your grandpa used to do.
Ma che cazzo!
You don't have the maple soul. You merely play the role. And just like Vesuvius, your cover soon to blow. Are you saying that it's true? You want to be an Italiano? Italiano, Italiano. One day you visit Italy and you truly sing Napolitans, Sicilians, Romance, to like your grandpa used to do, like your grandpa used to do.
Grazie tutti. I will see you guys tomorrow. This is Tamo Junto SF. Boa noite.